Good morning, students. So, in the last class, we have seen about nature of language and aims and objectives of teaching English as a first language. So, today in this class, we are going to see about some of the problems which we are facing in the classroom while teaching English language. So, before going into the topic, I would like to explain what is first language, second language, and a foreign language. So, when you say English as a first language, that is nothing but English was learned or taught by the native speakers. So English as a first language means the people who are residing in United Kingdom, United States of America and Australia and Canada. So those people, for them it is English is a first language. But the people who are residing in the Asian countries and other European countries, English is a second language for us. Take an example of India. So for us, English is a second language. So for us, the mother tongue is the first language, not English is the first language. So again, English as a foreign language means in some countries, the people will be learning their mother tongue as a first language and they will be learning another language as a second language. And additionally, they will start learning English. So for such kind of people, English is called as a foreign language. So English language can be learned in three process. One is first language, second language, and foreign language. So you should have an idea about what is first language, what is second language, and what is foreign language. So let's get into the topic. And today we are going to see about problems related to teaching and learning of English inside the classroom. So what are all the problems we are facing while teaching English in our classroom? So think about the problems which you had while teaching or learning English in your classroom. So imagine that you are in your school's standards and think about the problem which you have faced inside the classroom. So I will give you some examples of the problems which can occur in the classroom. Okay, for the teacher as well as for the students, and also you have to think about what are the remedial measures for overcoming such problems. Okay, so I have listed some of the problems which are identified in the classroom, and there are so many problems which are available or which are faced by the students as well as teachers inside the classroom. So some of the problems are, the first one is lack of understanding of teaching aims. So the first and foremost problem is understanding the aims. So the teacher should understand the aim and also the student should understand the aim. So only after understanding the aims of teaching English or aims of learning English, then only the teaching and learning process will be smooth, or else the teacher and also the students will be facing lots of problems. So unless lack of understanding of the teaching aim means the teacher should understand why I am teaching English and the student should understand why we are learning English. Okay, so what is the purpose of learning this language? So what is the purpose of teaching this language to the students? So there are so many aims of teaching English language, and such aims should be understood by the teacher as well as the learners. So that is the first and foremost problem. If we are not understanding the aims of teaching and learning of English means, so what are the remedial measures you will provide? So first of all, the teacher has to understand, and then first the teacher has to make them to understand or realize why I am learning this English language. So there are certain issues in understanding the aims, and so first and foremost thing is you have to make the students to understand why I am learning this English language. Okay, the second problem is lack of competent teachers of English. So this is one of the most common problem which prevails in schools and colleges and universities too. So in most of the schools and most of the colleges there are incompetent teachers who are teaching English. So they will be having a degree with them, but they are not well qualified or well competent to teach English language. So some of the teachers' pronunciation will be somewhat sluggish, and their method of teaching will be somewhat incapable. So that such kind of problems are you can see in some schools. So the English teacher will be teaching English in Tamil. So that is the teacher will be teaching English in translation method, but English should be taught only in English. So then only you can develop the communicative skill and competency of your students. So lack of competent teachers. So getting competent teachers nowadays is very difficult, and so if the teacher is not competent, what are the remedial measures you can give? So you should make the teacher to upgrade themselves. The teacher should upgrade by qualification as well as by professional competency. Okay, And the next problem is defective method of teaching English. Defective method of teaching English means there are so many methods to teach English. You can teach English in direct method, you can teach English in bilingual method, you can teach English in translation method, audio visual method, communicative method, playway method. There are so many methods available to teach English language. But what is the correct method to teach this classroom? For this classroom and for these students, what is the best method to teach English? So that you have to think about. So as teacher, you have to think. So my student will understand only if I teach in this method. If I am not teaching in this method means they will not understand it. So you have to choose which method will be suitable for this classroom. Which method is suitable for 6th standard and which method is suitable for 10th standard, you have to decide. You have to decide based on your students' ability and their understanding level. Okay, so and next one is lack of audio visual aids. So lack of audio visual aids, in most of the schools you can only see that the teacher trainees using the teaching aids, not the regular teachers. So the government has ordered that all the regular teachers should use teaching aids, and also the government is providing some fund for the teachers to prepare some teaching aids for the students. So instead of simply talking to your students, you can show some pictures, you can demonstrate something with some teaching aids, you can bring real object. So many teaching aids are available, and also you can use some PowerPoint presentation and video presentation. Lots and lots of technological aids are available. So you have to make use of such aids for the students to create interest in teaching and learning. Okay, and then the next problem is lack of exposure to the language. So teaching English language is not only the duty of the teacher. The teacher's duty is also to expose the students to the language. So in most of the schools you can see that the students will be speaking or listening to English only in English classes, not in other classes. So when it comes to maths or science or social, the teacher will be teaching in translation method. The teacher will translate the content into the mother tongue of the students, and then the teacher will be start teaching. Okay, so that is not the good thing. So if it is an English medium school, all the subjects should be taught in English. So you have to make an exposure for the students. You have to create an atmosphere for the students to listen good English. Okay, and then the next one is overcrowded classroom. So this you can see in most of the schools, the classroom attendance will be more than 40. Okay, if the students are more than 40 in numbers, you cannot concentrate on individual students. So that is very, very important, no? So you have to concentrate on each and every student in all the classes. So okay, so if your classroom contains 40 number of students, so can you imagine that you can concentrate on each and every one? No, it is impossible. So if your class strength is around 20, you can easily concentrate on everyone. Okay, so if it is larger in strength, it is difficult for the teacher to concentrate on each and every student. So the class strength should be somewhat smaller, around 20 to 25 is okay. So above 30 or 35, 40, it is very, very difficult for the teacher to concentrate on each and every student. Okay, and the next one is improper physical condition and infrastructure. So the physical condition of the classroom should be very, very comfortable for the student to learn something in the classroom. So if the classroom does not have the blackboard, how does the student will learn? If the classroom does not have electricity, okay, if the classroom does not have fan, if the classroom is not at all somewhat as circulatory, so it is very difficult for the students to sit and understand. And also infrastructure means the furniture should be good, the table, sitting arrangements, etc. So if all those things are comfortable for the students, they will learn English in a good way. If it is uncomfortable for them, they will be facing lots of problems in teaching and learning process. Okay, and then the next problem is ignorance of correction work. So you can see in many schools, the teacher will not correct their classwork note or rough note. The teacher will be giving lots and lots of homework and assignments. But the teacher does not have enough time to correct all those assignments as well as their notebooks. Okay, so the teacher should not ignore the correction work in the classroom. So all the corrections or errors should be immediately corrected by the teacher. So the teacher should not skip, I will correct it after, I will do it later. So like that. So if the teacher is conducting a test, that test should be corrected immediately and the student should be provided with some marks to them. Okay, then only it will be a good test. If you are postponing the result for a longer time, the student will lose interest on the test. So ignorance of correction work is most common problem which is prevailing. So such things you should not do when you are going to become a teacher. And the last problem is faulty examination system. So our examination system, you know very well, we make our students to cram something for getting higher marks. So we are not making the students to understand, or we are not making them to become a good human being. So we need marks. Okay, so the teachers, the parent, and also the students. So everybody is running behind the marks, not for the character or not for the professional development. So all are running behind marks. So that such thing should not be done. So our examination system should be changed. Our examination system should be changed. So I hope you might have experienced good examination system right now. So that is open book examination. That is a good examination, but the question paper should be different for the open book examination. So such kind of innovative examination can be brought to the students, open book examination, online examination. So such things will be creating an interest and also some technological improvement among the students. Okay, so these are some of the problems which are identified in the classroom, and there are so many problems still other than these problems. So such problems you should think about it, and we will discuss all those things when we meet in the classroom. And so far we have discussed about nature of language, aims and objectives of language, and I have given a small introduction about English as a first language, second language, and also the foreign language. And today we have seen about problems related to teaching and learning of English inside the classroom. Okay, so think about these problems, and these problems should not come when you are becoming as a teacher. Okay, thank you.